Have you ever walked into a bookstore, picked up a business book, and thought, yeah, this sounds smart, but how does this help me actually build something different? Well, imagine this. It's 1998. A young man in Silicon Valley is sitting in a tiny rented office, staring at a clunky desktop computer. He's got a radical idea. What if people could send money over the internet, instantly, securely, without going through banks? Everyone around him thinks it's absurd. Too risky, too weird. But he doesn't just want to improve banking. He wants to reinvent it. That guy was Peter Thiel. That little idea, it became PayPal. Hello, I'm Bharat, and welcome to Audiofybooks, where you will find excellent audio summaries of books in a very easy and interesting way. If you want to learn from new books, do subscribe to the channel. Let's get started with today's book. So here's the big question Peter Thiel wants to ask you in 0 to 1. What valuable company is nobody building? Not how do I get rich or how do I get a job at Google, but something far deeper. Are you copying what's already been done, or are you creating something new? Most people think of progress as horizontal, taking something that works and spreading it. Like opening another coffee shop, writing another blog, launching another delivery app. That's going from 1 to N. It's incremental. But Thiel wants us to go vertical, from 0 to 1, creating something from nothing. That's where the magic happens. That's how iPhones replaced flip phones. That's how Tesla reimagined the car. It's the difference between being a follower and being a founder. But here's the twist. Contrary to everything we've been taught, the most successful companies aren't those that compete. They're the ones that avoid competition entirely. Thiel says, competition is for losers. Think about it. If you're fighting tooth and nail for attention, customers, and margins, you're in a race to the bottom. But the companies that really win, Google, Facebook, Amazon, they don't compete. They dominate. They create their own niche so well that nobody else can touch them. That's monopoly. And no, it's not evil. In Thiel's world, monopoly means doing something so uniquely well that people can't imagine life without you. Let's pause for a second. Imagine you're baking a cake. Everyone around you is arguing over how to make the same chocolate cake. Should it be gluten-free? Should it be organic? Should it come with a frosting upgrade? But you decide, what if I make a carrot cake with a spicy twist? Something no one else is even thinking about. That's monopoly thinking. You're not just improving the cake, you're changing the game. Thiel believes every startup should begin with a secret, a truth about the world that very few people agree with you on. It's what gives you the unfair advantage. Think of Airbnb. The founders believed people would be okay with strangers staying in their homes. Sounds crazy, right? But that was their secret, and it changed the hospitality industry forever. What makes these secrets powerful isn't that they're hidden. They're just overlooked. They hide in plain sight. But to see them, you have to think independently. Schools teach conformity. Society rewards predictability. But innovation requires bold, unpopular thinking. If everyone already agrees with you, then you're probably too late. Let me take you back to Peter Thiel's own journey. After co-founding PayPal, he started investing in companies that weren't just chasing trends, but creating entirely new ones. One of those was Facebook. Back when social networks were popping up everywhere, Facebook didn't look all that different. But Thiel noticed something. Facebook had real identity. Unlike MySpace, it wasn't just profiles and music. It was your actual friends, your real name, your real life. That was the secret. Identity was going to matter more than anonymity in the digital age. So he invested $500,000. The rest is history. Thiel also challenges the obsession with lean startups, the idea that you should build quickly, release often, and pivot endlessly. He argues that great businesses aren't accidents. They're built with clarity, with a strong foundation, not by throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. You need a plan, not a rigid 5-year spreadsheet, but a clear vision, a destination. Otherwise, you're just wandering. And this is where the founding team matters, according to Thiel. A startup is not just a business, it's a cult, a tribe of missionaries. You don't just need talent, you need people who believe, who share the same obsession, who are in it not for the paycheck, but for the mission. That's how PayPal survived the dot-com crash. They weren't just employees, they were pirates with a cause. Money matters, of course, but Thiel warns against chasing the biggest markets. Most people think, if the market is huge, we'll surely grab a slice. But that's a trap. In a massive market, you get swallowed. Instead, start small, dominate a niche, be the best in a tiny space. Then scale, like Amazon, which started with books, or Facebook, which started with Harvard. Do one thing so well that you earn the right to expand. And don't forget the future. That's the heart of 0 to 1. Thiel believes the future is not inevitable. It's built by people who ask the right questions, who see what others ignore, who are willing to go against the grain. Every time you try something truly new, you're doing what no algorithm can predict. That's the one thing humans will always have over machines: imagination. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, speed, and copying what works. But what if real success comes from being still long enough to ask, what's missing? What haven't we tried yet? What's my secret? So here's your challenge, from Peter Thiel to you. Stop aiming to be better. Aim to be different. Build what hasn't been built. Think from 0. And that, my friend, is how you go from 0 to 1.